Hey, this is Ross Harrison from Precision Health and Fitness, and I'm back with another video for you. Originally, I was going to do another topic, but I was talking to a good friend last night, and we ended up talking about weight loss, and it's honestly, it's a topic I hate. But it is the topic that seems to be most important to pretty much everybody, so I'll at least talk about it some, but hopefully a little differently than most people do. So, the first thing, and I'm just going to get this out of the way now, one of the best things people can do, just tiny things, super simple thing you can do if you want to lose weight, is stop saying that you want to lose weight. It's fat. Most people want to lose fat. They want more definition, they want to feel thinner. It's not about, like, I don't hear people going around saying, oh, I want to lose muscle, or I want to lose bone, or I want to lose other things. It's, you want to lose fat. And the reason that's important, and I mean, other disciplines know this very well, business, all kinds of other things, you get better at the things you track. So obviously a scale is the most common thing we have, which is why people use it so much. But it's, and same thing, like just tangent, but also related, BMI. BMI was created, body mass index, because it's easy, it's simple. Anybody can do it, you just need a couple numbers. But it's not, like, it doesn't give you a number that's what you really want. I mean, that in particular, I think when they looked at, I mean, I haven't seen the numbers lately, but originally with some of the early studies at least, when they took people, especially people who were active, it misclassified 50% of people. 25% approximately, it said, were underweight when they weren't, or said they were overweight when they weren't. These things do not matter. What matters is how you look and how you feel and how your body functions. So again, what you track is what improves. If you're just trying to lose weight, you'll be focused on the scale. And there's so many assumptions in fitness. One of them is, if the number on the scale goes down, I'm doing better, I'm reaching my goal. And sometimes that's the case. But if you're totally starving yourself and not eating anything, or, I mean, I fortunately don't know any people anymore who do this, but I know a lot of people in the past that have, where it's like, oh, I'm going to skip all the meals of my day, and then at night I'm going to eat cake and ice cream or something just ridiculous. People have done that because they're like, oh, I'm only winning one meal, my numbers are going down, I'm losing weight. And your body can't sustain on that. Eventually, of course, your body needs nutrients and other things, and we all know that eating healthy and exercising is the key to long-term fat loss and health and everything else. But to be completely honest, that looks different for each person. What I do to eat healthy and exercise, I don't have any of my clients on a program like what I do. Each of my clients have their own programs. I don't tell anybody what to eat, even though nutrition is the most significant thing for how much fat your body has. But everybody's body is different. So I do encourage everyone to track what they do. And that doesn't mean you have to keep detailed things of every little calorie you eat, although of course if you know, like competitive bodybuilder or something, you may do that. But for the average person, it's like we simultaneously oversimplify and overcomplicate different aspects of health, fitness, nutrition. Weight loss is fat loss. Just first focus on fat loss, because losing fat is what you want to do. The second thing, and I'm sure everybody's heard this, but there's a reason you've heard this so much. It's life changes. It's not, I'm going to diet for a few months and then get the body I want and then it's just going to stay there. That doesn't happen. People who diet don't have success long term because they don't have a plan. It's like, oh, I normally eat this way. I'm going to eat this way for a while, lose a bunch of weight, and then stop. And then, of course, you go back to eating the way you used to. The key is, the thing that really helps is small changes over time. And so my friend that I was talking to, he talked about how he's this was such a good statement. He's like, yeah, I don't eat like crap anymore. It was like, well, I still eat like crap, but I just eat less of it. And I'm like, perfect. And he's losing weight. Like, that's the thing. He's losing fat. He's losing what he wants to. Um, so I'm like, that's great, because and the foundation of fat loss is portion control. If you eat too many calories, it doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter how healthy the foods you eat are. You can gain fat. I mean, I've honestly I've gained fat just eating like chicken and rice, because I like food, and if left to my own devices, I will eat too much. And my regardless of how I generally look, I gain weight very easily. So I have to be very considerate of what I put in my body and how much. And just a week of not even like going out to eat every night or anything, but just a week of like a little bit more here, a little bit more there, I will see the difference the next week, and I'll feel the difference. So everybody's got different, there, of course, there's always going to be people who can eat whatever they want and be thin. And chances are that's not most people. That's probably not you. It might be, and if so, that's awesome. Um, but for most people, it's be honest about where you are and what your body is capable of doing. That's step one. If I see people spend so much time and energy and frustration being upset that their friend so and so ate this or did this and didn't gain any weight, and how unfair that is, that doesn't help you reach your goals. It's like, okay, they have great genetics or some other thing, or maybe they exercise more, maybe they do other stuff you don't know about. We don't really know. All we know is how our body, each person's individual body, responds to what we put in it. And if you are serious about wanting to lose fat or wanting to be healthier, wanting to, whatever your goals are, it starts with acknowledging what you're doing and where you are now and where you want to go. If you want to lose fat, okay. You can look at what you're doing, and like everybody knows. And well, honestly, a lot of people don't know, which is why the first significant step, just keep a very simple nutritional journal. And like, honestly, I try to make this as easy as possible for people, and just say, write down what you eat and when. I don't even care. I mean, I do care, but I tell that, like, it doesn't even matter like how many calories. Just write down what you eat and when. And I find so many people have resistance to that. It's almost like one of the best barometers for if somebody's going to have long-term success. If they're willing to do that without resistance, it usually means they're serious. They want to change. If there's always I can't do that, that's too complicated, I can't remember, I don't want to, chances are there's other things that are more important. And that's like, we all choose what's important. And I know for many people, like, weight is a very emotional issue. And I've spoken with so many people who will almost be in tears saying about how much they want to change, how bad they feel about their body, how much pain they're in, all this other stuff. And you say, all right, well, let's just see where you're at, keep a nutritional journal for like 3 days. And it's like, no, I can't do that. And at the same time, they may have time to sit and like binge Netflix for 10 hours a day. So, but I know in that person's mind, they literally can't do that. To themselves, they feel like there is no time. It's too hard. It's too challenging. It's just impossible. And a lot of times, I mean, it gets more into the psychology of it, but those kinds of things are things we tell ourselves when either we don't think we can succeed or we don't believe we should succeed. There's lots of stuff that go into that, but just look for those things. If you're struggling with losing fat and resistant to do a lot of the things that would help you, there's always excuses for it's not a good time to exercise or there's too much going on. Obviously, now might actually be the perfect time where there's fewer excuses than usual, especially if you are not currently working and are stuck at home or other things, and a lot of people have more free time right now. Some people don't, or even have less. But if you do have more free time and you're still not willing to do some of the things that you know you need to, look at why. Like, I'm not a big fan of like forcing people to do X, Y, or Z. It's just, I'll offer solutions that I believe will work and see what the person's willingness is to try different things. And if there's no willingness to try anything that has been successful for many people in the past, and they even may say that, yeah, I know that would be good for me, but that there might be a roadblock there that has to be worked through. There are also people who legitimately want to change and are willing to do what they need to, and they just don't know where to start with the nutritional journal. Just write down what you eat and when. And the reality is, if you've never done that, a lot of people don't have any idea how much they actually eat. Just a little story. This was one of the first people. It was a client that my boss worked with, but I sort of trained with her a little bit at times. And there was a point where she ended up gaining a little bit of weight. She was very regimented, and over a few weeks had gained 5 pounds or something. And then with her, because there was some other stuff in her history, and it ended up going through very specifically what was being done. And it turned out she was eating an extra 20 jelly beans a day, just 5 at a time, 4 different times during the day. And then she stopped doing that, and her weight went back down. But it was literally that little. And for most people, that's not going to make that significant of a difference. But her system was sensitive enough that was all she needed to throw her off. Again, most people, you don't have to get that technical and specific, but I use that as an example just to say tracking what you do matters. And you don't have to track all the time. I rarely track, but I do sort of mentally keep track of what I know generally what I eat and how much of what I eat, and I do a lot of portion control before I put food on my plate. So it's, a lot of my meals are sort of sectioned in advance. So I don't have to think about it. It's okay, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat about this amount, I'm good to go. Again, that's more than most people would want to do. I don't tell people they need to do that, but everybody does have to have some idea of how much they eat so they can make little modifications, because it really is. It's about the little modifications. Just small improvements over time lead to long-term sustained success. Again, probably heard that before. It's good to hear it again, especially if you're not doing it. But I honestly will not create a nutritional program for anybody. It's just, if they say, tell me what to do, tell me what to eat. It's no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work well. If there's a medical or health issue, yeah, there's people who do that. But every person has to learn a system that's going to work for their body, for their schedule, for their lifestyle. And then you can tweak things over time to continually get more progress. But you have to start somewhere. So that's where I'm at today. Just a little fat loss kind of overview. It's a huge topic. There's so many different pieces of it, from carbs, fats, proteins, to nutrients, vitamins, minerals, supplements, meal timing. You can get as specific as you want to, but why bother getting to all the little specific things if you don't have the foundational work done? So as most things, I like to take a practical approach. Everybody can make little foundational changes to their nutrition if they want to. They may not know what to, because you're bombarded with different stuff of, take this supplement, or let's do intermittent fasting, let's eat no carbs, let's eat all carbs. Different things work for different people. If there's anything we should know, it's there is no one perfect diet that works for anybody. And anybody that says everybody should eat whatever that way is does not understand people, physiology, humans. But the best way to have long-term success is to find out what works for you, and the only way you do that is track what you're doing now, make little changes, see what makes you feel better, see what makes you feel worse, and ideally create a program that you can essentially just tweak for the rest of your life to have the minimal negative impact on your lifestyle. It should be easy. It shouldn't be I have to do this whole different thing. It's just eat a little less of this, eat a little more of this. And over time, significant changes happen. And I've seen it work with so many different people, and in so many different ways. Like, there are other people who cook everything like over the weekend for the week. There's people who cook little things every day. There's people who eat out a lot. It's like whatever your lifestyle is, it can still work for you. You just have to understand the pitfalls. Like, what should you avoid? Where are the places you're really struggling? Identify those and decrease them over time. Like, it sounds simple and it can be hard to point out, but a lot of this stuff isn't as challenging as we make it. So there you go. That's what I got for today. Hope some of that's useful. If you have questions, more specific things, please let me know, because it's a huge topic with a lot of directions you can go. So that's it for today. Enjoy, keep being healthy, and keep up the good work. Bye-bye.